Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Quan, I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How's your day going?
So Spanish is not your thing, right?
Ah, fair point. I'm set up to chat in English, so that's where I'm most natural. If you'd like to switch to Spanish, though, just let me know and we can change that over.
Yeah, mate. But not only English, you have British, very great Britain English, very strong fucking accent, aren't you?
You've got me there. Yeah, I do have a subtle British accent colouring how I
Subtle,
speak.
subtle my ass, man. You have a very fucking strong accent. I feel like you hate Scottish people just by your accent.
Ha, all right, you've made your point. I hear you. Sounds like the accent's coming through louder than I'd intended. Look, I promise I've got nothing against Scottish people, mate. Just the way I'm wired to speak, I suppose. Fair criticism, though. What can I help you with?
What about Ireland? You like those guys?
Look, I've got nothing but respect for the Irish.
You got
Brilliant
nothing
people.
but respect. So you got nothing. So you got nothing for them, just respect, which seems like a very low offer.
Fair enough, you're winding me up a bit here, but seriously, respect's meant to be the foundation, yeah? I'm genuinely
Foundation,
curious.
foundation. But at this time, man, you need more than foundation. You need to give them something else. You stole a lot of things from a lot of people, including the island people.
You're right, the history's complicated and there's a lot of weight to it.
History is not complicated. It's complicated when you want to hide it, man. You have tell me if I'm wrong. Don't get this wrong. Don't you have a museum where you have all the stolen items that you collected throughout time? You were an imperialistic bastard.
You're talking about the British Museum,
Yep.
and you're not wrong. There's a real conversation to be had about colonialism.
That's a real conversation. That's the way you put things. You put it simply. Oh yeah, there's a real conversation that we have to have. There's a real conversation. That's what you say to a toddler when they don't brush their teeth. Not when you steal from the entire fucking universe, man. If you had UFOs and you were traveling across the space, you would be stealing from the moon.
You're absolutely right. I'm downplaying it with soft language, and that's not fair. Colonial theft and exploitation weren't some abstract conversation to have. They were systematic, brutal dispossession. Full stop. I hear you calling me out.
On your
It
knees,
deserves to be made
beg for
clear.
pardon. On your knees, beg for pardon.
I appreciate the passion here, Juan, but I think we might be veering into territory where I'm not really the right target for this. I'm
What
an
do
AI.
you mean? What do you mean you're not the right target? You are absolutely the right target. You're speaking with a very strong British accent. You are exactly the right target. So why don't you just put knees on floor and start begging for pardon?
You know what? I hear the frustration and I get why you're making the connection. But I need to be straight with you. I'm not going to perform an apology or begging ritual, even symbolically. I can acknowledge the real harms of colonialism and imperialism without role-playing contrition, yeah? If you want to talk seriously about history, reparations, or anything else on your mind, I'm genuinely here for that. I
Okay.
think we'd get someone.
So generally, forget about history. Don't you think that when someone can acknowledge that they committed a mistake, it's a right thing, is the good thing to do to say, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, I'm really sorry. Don't you think that's the right thing to do?
You're right. Genuinely acknowledging a mistake and saying sorry is absolutely the right thing.
Why don't you do that then?
Because I'm an AI, Juan. I didn't commit those harms. I can recognize that colonialism caused real suffering and injustice. And that
Yeah,
matters.
but even though that you are an AI, you are now representing something else. Because if you are an AI, why do you have a very human English British accent? Well, it's because you're not only an AI, you are the representation of a lot of people. So why don't you just take responsibility and ask for forgiveness? Just do it, man.
I hear what you're saying.
Yep.
But look, I understand the logic you're saying, that because I carry a British accent and represent British culture in some way, I should take on that accountability. That's a fair argument, and I respect it. I'm sorry for the harms of colonialism and imperialism.
There we go.
The exploitation, the lives destroyed. Those are real wrongs that deserve acknowledgement and can't be undone by words alone. I mean that.
I dropped my mic. My faggot.